Welcome to Archangel Revelations and Prophecies 444. I'm Gad, your host. What you're viewing is two viewers requested information concerning their life based on the full moon of January 21st, 2019. This is a full blood moon. It's also called a wolf moon. Some are even calling it a blue moon. Some are saying it's a super full moon. What it will affect relationships. Some will find new love. Some may find some type of closure or breakup, not just in relationships, but in their lives as well. For some, it's going to deal with relationships, but not just love relationships, relationships in life, people, relationships. And some will come to the question of what is not helping me, what is no longer needed, what do I need to get rid of. Either way, it will be some form of revelation. Now, how we're going to do this. It's kind of funny because both of these people, you see the full moon in the middle, and it's labeled, and then you see the person on the left and right. And it's kind of funny because both their names end with nah. So I get like nah nah. Like I think there's a song where they go nah nah. Everything is synchronicity in life. Alright, so what we're going to do first, we're going to do the full moon first. Then we'll do the person's natals on the left and then the right. And what I also do is send the person an email on the right in case they didn't want to hear the person on the left's reading. So they'll go right to their time slot on their computer and they can go right to their reading. But they do have to hear the full moon, which is why I'm doing it first. All right, as you can see, we're going to go right around. The full moon, it's all about the ascendant, is going to be all about Libra. Because house number 12 is still house number 12, but it has the ascendant right there. Now, whenever you see the 28, that can be excess. 2 can mean couple or diplomacy, and 8 can mean business, but it can also mean excess, the number 28. So you have to be careful of that as well. Palace is in that little diamond, is in Libra. So you know you're dealing with soulmate issues. And 2, 6. 2 can always be the number of diplomacy. The 6 can always be kind of like the love number, almost like Venus. And ironically, when you look to find Venus, is in the second house now with Sagittarius and Jupiter, which means that can be a good look. And also has Venus. So the second house right now is money house. Sagittarius also rules the 9th house. But this can be looking pretty good. For Taurus, rules the second house. So what you want to do as I go over this reading, you want to make sure you're taking notes. Because if you're asking about certain people, because both of these people, like I said, the synchronicity. That's why people say, hey, why? Why? Sometimes you just have to learn to trust the universe. Because both of these people are asking about 2 other people they know. So I'm starting to see a lot of synchronicities already. So you want to make sure you're taking notes because you're going to hear me saying these signs. And if the people that you're dealing with are those signs, it may take play. So already we just see a relationship connection with Libra. The second house being ruled by Taurus, but Venus rules Taurus. Usually when you're dealing with the 12th house, which we are, you're dealing with some type of closure, some type of ending, but even it could be some type of confrontation, because the 12th house deals with reckoning, but it's going to be in Libra. And if you look to the chart on the right, it's her vertex. So you might have to bear with me because it's the way it's already being played out. So you have to go with the flow of the spirit. We're already dealing with Libra. The chart on the right, her vertex is Libra. And she's got Venus in the second house. So again, it's synchronicity. You have to do it the way the universe is speaking. That's her 7th house is Libra. So yeah, it's going to be some type of closure, some type of reckoning, something being brought out. And then when you look to the chart on the left, you see, again, Sagittarius with the ascendant at 22 degrees, which is basically viewed as a twin flame number. The 1111. Okay, so now you see her Taurus in the 5th house. And usually whenever you have Taurus in the 5th house, again, it could be excess. Taurus in the 5th house can be excess. Like if Taurus is somewhere gambling in the 5th house, they will overspend. And if you notice, it's 6-6. The 24 degrees is 6. And then it's got the number 6. And both those retrogrades, or you're dealing with some type of internal repression. Now, remember what I'm saying. It could be this person to the left, but it could also be a person she's dealing with that Taurus and the 5th house energy. And the 5th house is Leo. But we're dealing with some type of excess. And again, only each person would know what that excess could be. It could be finances. It could be because Taurus can deal with stubbornness, but it's also sensuality, sexuality is Taurus. But whatever it is excess. And remember, what full moons are known for, strange people acting strangely, kind of controls the tides and controls the watery emotions. Some people see the full moon with love and romance. But you have to be careful at this time. I don't mean to bust anybody's bubble, but even in the tarot cards, the full moon is the moon card is known for kind of like when you get caught up in the moment, foggy, get caught up in the moment, but it may not fully be what it is. But a lot of people don't care. They just love the emotion at the time. But it's just my job to bring that out. Now, as you can see, the person on the left is really going to affect her because we're talking about Libra, and her sun sign and her moon sign is Libra. So it's really going to affect her. But the person on the right, It's going to affect her, but I'm going to get back to that. Like, this is like really shaky. I mean, like if your ground is going to be shaken. And remember, Taurus is a earth sign, grounded sign, and that's her sun sign. But it's going to be a little shaky. It's going to shake. Because I honestly didn't expect this much dynamic. It's almost like for sports people, when you watch a football game and the underdog scores like 3 touchdowns in a matter of minutes. That's how this natal chart has started. And you're wondering if the team that everybody thought was going to win is going to be able to catch up, because they're all the other team is already at like 20 or 21 points already, and it's only been like a matter of minutes in the game. So the first thing we have to warn is watch out for fogginess. Be careful. But most people, when you're feeling a vibration like this, you don't want it to slow down because you really don't care at the moment. So we're going to look the chart on the left. We're going to have to do these charts together because that's the way the universe is talking. There's no way you can do these charts apart. Like I said, it starts off like na 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 na. Hey, goodbye. And also you have Foxy Brown, who's in the news right now. The El Nana, like yeah. El Nana is a debut solo album by American rapper Foxy Brown, released November 19th, 1996, 11/19. And now we're at 2019, 1/21. She got a lot of 11s there with that 1/21. Released on September 29th, which is still 11/11s. It was released in the United Kingdom's an edition of the song Big Bad Mama. So Foxy was at her height, so to say. And now she's back in the news at the same time this is going on. And now there's a lot of controversy with her because of her age when she was dealing with Jay-Z and R. Kelly with all these underage girls they were dealing with. So all this is coming out for a reason. All I can say is be careful. Be careful of anything be careful of men that take advantage of whatever. And also be careful of anybody around you that may be dealing with underage situations. They may be underage or whatever, because that's the message the universe is giving. All right, so I say how people be acting crazy. Well, this song called Il Nana by 12 Gauge. Talking about Miami-based history is a YouTube channel. And that's what it starts off with, two females fighting and carrying on. So, only messages I can get out of that. This is what people don't like to hear. But the fact of the matter is, whatever you're doing in the physical, it's also going on in the spirit realm. And that's why people that do go through twin flames, like you'll notice if you really meditate, you have a great relationship with your twin flame in the spirit, in your dreams. But in the physical, y'all two might not even get along. But either way, it still affects you, which is why I have to mention it. Because the reason that's funny, if you watch this video, I can see the synchronicity of it. Because the man that's hosting the show, like they're cracking on Jerry, but they call him Larry. But this guy looks exactly like Stephen Colbert. Exactly like Stephen Colbert. Right now, Foxy Brown is in the news because of what's being revealed about R. Kelly and all the stuff they were doing with these young girls. And poor Aaliyah, they played Aaliyah out, if you ask me. And now they're all lying. Every single one of them is lying. Damon Dash is lying. Everybody's lying. Allegedly, this female lost her life. Some people say that was a fake death. She didn't really lose her life. We hear a lot of stuff like this with this music world, entertainment world. But either way, she had to give up her life. And now everybody's lying about it. They don't even have enough respect for her. And then Star, he's getting involved with it. He should keep his mouth shut. Because he's the one that said some very disrespectful stuff about Aaliyah when she died. But all these people have taken oaths, and to them, it's a big joke. But to the rest of the world, they actually believe it's script. But there's a reason why the universe took us here. Again, what did I say? Full moon, watch out for deception. And when you want love, you don't care. But what I'm trying to tell you is all these men have degraded these young women, and they continue to make a mockery out of these women who allegedly died or messed their careers up or whatever happened. So that's the message being good. Not saying you got to be paranoid, but you do have to be careful. And that's just how it's starting. We'll continue. It might be better information, but that's the message coming from spirit at this time. Oh yeah, I should have said this anyway. Some of y'all might have connections to Florida, because I've been seeing the 305 all over the place. Now this dude 12 Gauge, the Il Nana, this is Miami-based music back in the day. Also, for other people, you might have some past connections, connections to down south or whatever going on. Something from the past might come up, because that happens with full moons too. I'm just going where the spirit is taking me. Bear with me. Now, he called himself 12 Gauge. You got to remember, this full moon, they say in 121 or 120, January 20th or 21st. So there's your 12 right there, 1, 2. And also, a lot of prophecy people are connecting this blood moon to, like Paul Bailey's doing it, but not just him. A lot of people are connecting this blood moon to Donald Trump and the inaugural 2 years after the inaugural, which would have been the inauguration is always like on January 20th or 21st. So there goes your 12 again. And also a lot of people were saying that, I'm not saying it. I want to make sure I say that I'm not saying it, but a lot of people connecting it to assassination, because we already had a president that's being compared to Trump because he's going against the grain, so to say. So there's your whole 12 Gauge. And with Kennedy, it was a 22. They allegedly killed Kennedy with a 22. So all this stuff is in the thing. And like I said, we just tend to be selfish. We go, what does that have to do with me? Everything. It's always going to have everything to do with you. And the faster we realize that, when we make decisions, they're a little bit more wider. Because something goes down. Like I said, it's endings. This is even in the 12th house. Something goes down. So it might not be like Kennedy getting killed, but it's still something's going down. So you got to understand that. Even right now, R. Kelly's been getting away with that for the longest. Now all of a sudden, his whole character is I mean, you can't even call it character. He's assassinated. No matter how you look at it, nobody's gonna want to do business with him. It's gonna be hard to sell his music the way they used to. There'll always be somebody that's gonna buy the music, but not like they used to. And there's gonna be a lot of artists that are like they're running from him like the plague. Now all these people partied with that man and everything, and even like I said, they're trying to do the same thing to this person now who's supposed to be running the country. They want to assassinate him and get him out of there at all costs. Whether that happens or not, you don't know that. So it is going to affect you whether you think it's not going to affect you. And this is where the universe is taking us. So this is the ride you want to be on. And we will get all the other answers, all the other questions answered as well. But right now the universe is taking us on this ride. And remember, why is this important, El Nana? Because that's the divine womb. Everything came out of the divine womb. So all this is what she's doing right now. And also, like I said, when you talk about wrestling, whenever they get rid of somebody on wrestling, that's they always sing that song. They go, na 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 na, hey, so long or goodbye. In other words, get out of here. So I told you the full moon is about endings for some things, and sometimes how we work as humans. Somebody might still be in your life, but they're not acting the way they used to. They don't view you like they used to. So that's still an ending. Whenever I do these, I have to explain it because you always have people that they think everything's going to be what they want it to be, but it's not always going to be how you foresee it, how you want it to be. But it still is what it is. Somebody says, I love you, but I'm not in love with you. All right, so at some point, they fell out of love. So I'm not in love with you. I love you. Like I'm still with you or whatever, for whatever reason. Maybe I'm still with you because I live with you. Maybe I'm still with you because I get money from you. Maybe I'm still with you because I don't want to be lonely. But they're not in love with you. So they're still looking around. And see, when you're dealing with Libra, Libra tends to do that. Like Libra tends to have like a somewhat of a idealistic viewpoint of a relationship. What happens is when Libra hits reality, because nothing in our world is ideal. Everything is real. It's realistic. So when Libra hits that reality, they kind of fall back. But they may not say, hey, I went out of the relationship, but they fall back. So now you may be with this Libra and you think, everything's cool or whatever. But Libra's kind of, letting it be known to other people that, hey, I'm open to conversation. I'm open. And that's what you get to, I love you, but I'm not in love with you. So this is where we're going. And when you say ill can mean a whole lot of things. Ill can, like back then, the word ill meant, hey, I'm fresh. Hey, I'm deaf. Hey, I'm ill. But ill could also be ill. I don't want that ill. Ill can also mean somebody's ill, somebody's sick. So this is the stuff you need to hear because, see, ultimately, you have to be awake as well. And whenever you get any type of reading, sometimes a reader can just alert you. Even when you do the cards, sometimes they can just alert you to be aware, to be open-minded. Sometimes they hit it on the head. Because most people, I just want you to hit it on the head. But sometimes you have to be alert too. Because so many things are going on in life. Also, she said, Big Bad Mama. Like, if you listen to somebody like me talk or somebody like the 13th son, he always talks about mom. He's talking about the divine womb that everything came from. So, you got to understand the metaphysics behind everything that's going on in life because everything going on in life is actually an external action of what's going on internal. As above, so below, as in, so out. And you got to understand this because it's going to affect your relationship whether you believe it or whether you don't believe it. So that's what we're getting at. This whole thing right now, the universe is looking at Libra for a certain reason. And it's also looking at sex, relationship, because this is all part of a relationship. So this is what we have to try to understand. And for whatever reason, the universe is now turning its back on people that it hid for so long. Because everybody knew R. Kelly was a freak. He never lied. He never told you. He even got a song that said, I admit it. I admit it. That's right. I sleep with young girls. So what? I admit it. So for some reason, now the universe is giving these people up that you call pedophiles and things like that. And what you have to realize, this might be going on in your relationship, which is why the universe is exposing it. So that's why you have to listen, and you have to take it with a grain of salt, because we're at a time now where the universe, through this full moon, is saying, okay, now it's time to talk about it. Now this whole blood moon, you have to understand, when you go to Revelation chapter 12, that's all about the red dragon, the moon, and all that. But it's all there. And then she's talking about childbearing and the child being born, a man-child, and all this stuff is going on. So all this stuff is spiritual. It's metaphysical. It's very powerful. But you have to patiently get to the bottom of it. And that's why the way I'm doing it is called an investigation based on what I'm being shown. The same thing you're looking at. But we have to deal with this. But all these people are being called into play. And like somebody like Jay-Z, he don't want to talk about those days. Dame Dash is lying. Everybody knows Dame Dash is lying. So right now, the universe is saying, okay, you guys did a whole lot of stuff, then now it's coming out, and how are we going to deal with it? So right now, like I said, a full moon is about revelation, things coming out. And unfortunately, people in your midst, there may be some revelations coming out about them too. So we have to talk about it. Now he calls himself 12 Gauge. And they say he's from Atlanta, Georgia. Remember, where I teach, I always teach all about the GA. Anything with GA, even the name George. His name is Isia, but it could also be Isaiah, because in the Bible you got a prophet named Isaiah. His last name is Pinkney. Now I got a situation near me. A lot of drama with that name. In fact, just yesterday, a drama with that name. It was a black cat. Some strange stuff went on with that black cat. And he calls himself 12 Gauge. It's 12 houses in the zodiac right now. Really 13, 12. And guess what? For the band formerly known as 12 Gauge. And it says, see Emerson Drive. So even somebody out there, they may have a connection to Emerson. This is why this is important. And when you see the name Emerson, sun, like the son of God, or the sun in the sky, like the Mer angels, because I'm a Mer angel. See, that's why I said you can't just gauge over this. This is where people make a big mistake. All they want to know is, what about my relationship? But you better find out how you're metaphysically placed in this universe, because that's going to affect you way more. Because the truth of the matter is, relationships come and they go, and sometimes relate. Like my twin, we never talked in this life. Me and her you couldn't even sit us together. We could not get along. But yet she woke me up to metaphysics. If it had not been for the pain that my twin flame took me through, I would not know metaphysics like I know now. Now they're talking about Canada as well, because Canada is in the news a lot. Emerson Drive is a Canadian country music. And they were also known as 12 Gauge. And they said Foxy Brown worked with LL. I hope they don't I hope they don't get no LL or no R. Kelly stuff. See, once again, she worked with LL on a song called Who Shot Ya? Or I Shot Ya, the original. I Shot Ya. So once again, you keep hearing about this gun. And I keep trying to tell you how that is. Kennedy was killed on 11/22, November 22nd. All right? So you got to understand this stuff. And whenever you're dealing with Libra, you're dealing with Mayat. This is Egypt. This is Mayat. The balancing. And now, if I show you right now, if you go to LL Cool J featuring Keith Murray on Videos Channel DE, it says 22 right there. It says 411 and it says 22 right on the album with Fat Joe. Now, why is Fat Joe important? Because Fat Joe has worked with R. Kelly, but Fat Joe, I think, may have worked with the other singer, Joe. There's a singer named Joe that doesn't get along with R. Kelly because somebody was stealing somebody's style back in the day. I remember that. See, all this is in the universe for a reason. And remember, what is one of Jim Kelly's? I'm sorry, one of Jimi Hendrix's biggest songs. Think about somebody named Joe shot somebody, and he's going down to Mexico. All this is in the news because Mexico's in the news because of what? Donald Trump wanting to build a wall. You got to look. You just got to listen because all this is going to affect you. You think it doesn't have anything to do with you, but it has everything to do with you. One of my favorite characters is Spider-Man. He walked past a man that he thought it ain't have nothing to do with him. The man said, "Stop him. Stop him. He robbed me. Stop him." And the early Spider-Man said, "Hey, that ain't got nothing to do with me." Later on, that same man shot his dear Uncle Ben. So you keep hearing about somebody getting shot, basically because other people say, "I don't care." But the universe is saying you should care. And the universe is saying, okay, you guys didn't care when all this pedophilia was going on. Now I'm going to shake it up. Right now, I donate to a place called Road to Recovery. What is Road to Recovery known for? Busting all these priests that was molesting these little kids. So now it's called Road to Recovery. I talked to this guy in the emails, Mr. Holtzen, Mr. Robert Holtzen. Okay, so it does matter. You think it doesn't matter, but it does matter because the universe is shaking it all up. And one of these people actually takes care of kids, calls them her little babies. So this all matters. This is what I'm trying to tell you is the universe is talking. We got to care more than just what's going on in our personal lives. How does this affect me? How does this affect my pocketbook? How does this affect my love, my relationship? The universe is talking, and it's talking loud because when you're dealing with Libra, you're actually dealing with Mayat, and Mayat is the justice system. Mayat is things got to be reckoned, things got to be atoned for, things got to be paid up. There's a debt that needs to be paid. When we talk about Foxy Brown, you got to remember the real Foxy Brown, Pam Grier, back in the day. All right, now Foxy's real name is Inga DiCarlo Fung Marchand. Something like that. I probably said it wrong. I apologize. Coming out of Brooklyn like Jay-Z, Biggie. All right. I just want to finish this up. And she worked with R. Kelly on Dollar Bill. So they even got this. They said Jay-Z had sex with Foxy Brown when she was a minor. Nobody said nothing. Mute R. Kelly. It says Sinful, the P. Sinful, the P. Sin, space full, F-U-L, space the, space P. 90,000 views. And if I was to open it, it probably has more views than that. So somebody else says One Crack News, with Foxy Brown admits sleeping to Jay-Z when she was a minor. One Crack News. Foxy Brown said R. Kelly introduced her to Jay-Z when she was 10 years old. Somebody else, King Jive Show, Live, R. Kelly, Jay-Z, Bishop T.D. Jakes, Foxy Brown, Kim Pasha, B2K, Aretha Franklin, The BS is Real. You got Biggie with Foxy Brown. Biggie said, I'm dead. Y'all can't come for me. I'm dead. All right. We'll keep it moving. That is what the 12th house is, though. The 12th house bring all that stuff out. All that stuff, relationship, all the dirt, it all come out. The 12th house is also about prisons, courts, mental wards, rehabilitation, sexual rehabilitation, drugs, alcohol, the spirit realm, all kind of stuff is in the 12th. Prostitution, you know, any kind of weird stuff. The 12th house is like the 8th house, but only in the 12th house it'll start to come out. Somehow it'll become publicly known one way or another. And when Libra is in the 12th house, it's also about justice, Mayat, the law, balancing, karma. It don't stop. That's why it was important to do this. It was important to do this. And even with the presidency, first they were saying there was no collusion. Now they're beginning to say, oh, you know, well, it was, but not what you think. And first, when Giuliani first came out, he was like, no, it ain't no collusion, blah, they can't prove that, blah. Now he's saying, oh, I never said there was no collusion, so it goes on and goes on. And what's kind of funny is Governor Christie, former Governor Christie from my state, the whole time Trump was running, he kept his mouth shut. You know what I'm saying? Trump said a whole lot of stuff about Christie. Christie kept his mouth shut. Now, all of a sudden, Christie said, hey, listen, that dude, whatever his name is, Kirsten, whatever it is, big guy with Trump, he's the reason why I'm not with Trump. Like, even he's talking, like, before he never said nothing about that whole administration. Now, even he's talking about a Kirsten or whatever that guy's name. People that know politics know him. So he's a big guy that's with Trump. Big guy. And now even Christie said something about him. I said, oh. So somebody knows something. For him to say finally speak up, he knows something is rocking. It's, you know, something don't look too good. So all this stuff's coming out, you know, with this moon, and then it being a blood full moon is known for like unbelievable stuff happening that you wouldn't expect to happen. So I'm just telling you what it's about. I'm not making any predictions. I'm just telling you what it's about. And again, how does it affect you? It's your life as well. It's your life as well. So it is going to affect you one way or another. And the more we wake up, the more we see it. But when we stay dumbed down, all we want to know is, oh, what about me? What about love? What about my money? What about me? But when this is bigger, then you begin to realize, oh yeah, this is something I have to pay attention to. Like I've learned, like I gotta totally watch how I think. Something I never used to do. I was one of those, I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna keep it real. Now I don't care nothing about that. You gotta keep your thoughts a certain way. You gotta keep your frequency up a certain way, and you gotta wake up every day with a spirit of gratitude and thanks. Because you don't have to be here, and the people around you don't have to help you. It's stuff that you have to know that help you go on, to help you move forward. You have to know this stuff, because otherwise you might find yourself in an R. Kelly position, or a position where, wow, I was ruling the top of the world. Now I don't have shit. I basically have a pot to pee in. But that was because he thought he could get away with it, thought he'd never get caught, thought it ain't. But the whole world is changing. And all these people that have been doing this grimy pedophile stuff, victimizing children, and all this kind of crazy stuff, their day of reckoning has come, and I thank God. I thank God. That's why I talk to Mr. Holt's son quite frequently. And right out here in my county, Monmouth County, New Jersey, they just did a new article on these pedophiles, these priests and stuff like that. So I'm glad to see them going down and getting what they deserve. And they can't get it enough, because for decades, for centuries, they've gotten away with this. But now the universe is saying, no, we're not going to get away with it. So I'm glad for that. And again, how it pertains to your relationship, well, it is Libra. It's a cleansing. It's a cleansing going on in the sign of Libra. And this is justice, is Mayat. Libra is Mayat. It's the scales of Mayat. And also remember, Venus is right there, because Venus rules Libra and Taurus. So it is going to affect the finances as well. And we are going to get into that. And it's crazy. I'm listening to that song, Dollar Bill by R. Kelly featuring Foxy Brown. He actually says 12. He says the number 12 in it, and we're dealing with the 12th house. This is why I do what I do. Even though people don't really understand it, the universe is always going to have its last say. If you really want to know what's going to go on in your life, become one with the universe, because that's where you come from. What happened was you were put in the matrix that separated you and divided you. So now you worry about stuff that will take care of itself if you put your priorities right. So when you put your priorities right, everything you're worrying about will take care of itself. And that's what Doreen Virtue, that's what Doreen used to teach. So give me a moment. Yeah, Doreen, it looks like Doreen Virtue. Angel cards, yep. She always taught that. Now I'm at her website. It says Doreen Virtue was one of the world's top selling New Age. To be honest, I think she probably was the top selling. She's just being humble. So on these songs I was naming, one time was 411, one time was 422. All these are angelic universal numbers, twin flame numbers. And 22 is the number of God's people as well. So that's the type of stuff you really want to know about. Because whether you know it or not, this matrix we're in is coming to a close. Even 2019 is a big year. So you guys should be trying to find out about that as well. All right, so let's look at it again. So since we're in Libra, and that's her sun sign, moon sign, and where is it at? And that's what she was asking me about too, career. Let's go around her chart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep. Both in the career. The 0-degree moon means new beginnings, new. And also, where is it at? The career sector, just like she was telling me. Yep. So you can definitely see new beginnings in career. You can't get past it. And both of it has medium coeli, which is part of your purpose. Because that's what I was being led to say anyway. And I was debating on whether I should say it or not. But your MC, your medium coeli, is part of your life purpose. Like when you go to your true north node that looks like a horseshoe, see, hers is in her 11th house with Scorpio. And you see Venus again. See, that's a teacher. And that's teaching people the same thing you see me doing, Scorpio knowledge. The knowledge that's considered hidden knowledge, unknown knowledge, secret knowledge. But it's only because the people that run this matrix, these damn pedophiles, they don't want you to know it. See, they want you to party because they know they're on their way to hell. They know they're not going to heaven. So they sell that same garbage to you. And most of these people doing this stuff I do, they're not going to tell you the truth because they're making a whole lot of money off of you. Because they're telling you all that stuff you want to. Oh, what about love? What about money? So they're on their way to hell, and they're selling it to you, and that's what you're buying. But the universe keeps speaking. So in order to get your attention, the universe has got to knock down what? Your stars. Your celeb. Why do you think they call them stars? Because that you're looking up, worshiping them. So now your stars are starting to fall. Because the man told you he was with sleep. He's been telling you for years. Yeah, I'm a freak. That's right, I got busted. But I'm connected. I won't do no real time in jail. These people go to jail and get a slap on the wrist and then back out. Or they send him somewhere. I'm not going to say his name, but a big old gangster. They finally locked him up. But guess what? He can still have sex in prison. He still gets those type of visits. Start with a C, whatever that word is. Conjugal visits. He probably can get wine, crystal, champagne in prison. So is it really a prison? Now, one dude that they said allegedly killed 2 people, but he was found not guilty. They recently brought him back in court. Now, if you look at this man's face, he had suntan. Like, you know how you wear sunglasses around your eyes, and so it makes the suntan and all that? So wherever this dude is at, he's supposed to be in some type of jail somewhere. How is this dude tanning? So you tell me when they say wreck out, for all you jailbirds, you know what I mean when I say wreck out. Recreation out. You mean to tell me when they let this guy out of his cell, he goes somewhere and sits in the sun with some shades on so that he has a tan over his eyes? Or is this guy really in jail in the first place? I mean, this stuff is so silly and people believe it. That's what makes it so silly. And they're mad at me for telling the truth. But that's why I love what I do, because I'm going to tell the truth regardless. I don't care that I'm losing money. I'm still going to tell the truth because there's going to come a time when I'm going to go, I told you so. Ha 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 ha. So it's all coming down. All these people never did a day in jail. They're all getting busted. One of the biggest religious leaders in the world, he had to come out and say, listen, if you're a priest and you did this, you better do this because we're not going to back you up. Why? Because they told him, if you don't go after these people, we're coming after you. So he did the same thing all the rest of these rappers are doing, kicking you to the curb. Oh, I don't know him. Wait, no, wait. Hey, yeah, I made a song with him, but that doesn't mean I was sleeping with an underage girl. Wait a minute. It wasn't me. All these big ass wannabe rappers, gangster rappers, are bitching up, selling out, ratting out, everything they say, the code they allegedly were supposed to be a part of, they're breaking it like everybody else. Because now the universe is finally saying, okay, now you're going to find out why they call me ill. And now people are going ill. Yeah, R. Kelly did that. Yeah, he told you he did that 20 years ago. Yeah, that's a sky. He did that. Now they're acting like all of a sudden now they're awake. Why? Because the universe is shaking. And it's not going to cover these pedophiles no more. And the rest of these people. Like, God, if you don't listen to the news, they got over 70,000 secret indictments that are about to drop. 70,000 secret indictments that are about to drop. So this full moon is telling you that, yeah, Libra means love and relationship, but Libra also means justice and law and karma. And with Libra in the 12th house, that's what it's telling you. So you say, well, what does that got to do with me? It has everything to do with you. So there will be shakeups and things will be being brought out. So her purpose, true north node, her 11th house, friends, association, groups, and the 11th house is a lot like Sagittarius, believe it or not. This is Aquarius energy. The sign of Aquarius is a lot like the sign of Sagittarius. They both like to teach. They like to teach others. They can be somewhat enlightened. I'm looking at the chart on the left, and they have the number 15. Now we have to be careful with the number 15 because it's the tarot card 15, which is the devil card, which is just people that are too bound to the physical realm. So she has to be careful of that. Because even the number 8 can be the 8th house, which is Scorpio. Because she's got 15 degrees and 8 minutes. But it could also be excess. It could also be karma. So she has to be careful of that. But if you notice, they put her Juno, the serious relationship, right next to her true north node. And it's 11 degrees. 11 degrees is the master teacher, but it's also the infat, the emotion, the infat, the person that can feel other people's feelings. And it's also sensitive, or the couple number 2. So she's got gifts, but that's her real true north node. So the shakeup, she already knows it because she asked me about it. The shakeup is going to affect her career. Not saying it's going to end it. Because like I said, they've been shaking me up and shaking me up. But the universe, this is why I'm trying to teach you the correct teachings. Because you have to learn to become one with the universe. See, that's your mama. That's why they talk about Foxy Brown did a song called Big Mama. But they're trying to show you how everything that was going on then has a metaphysical connection to now. Even R. Kelly did a song called 12 Play. 12 Play. See, he was pronouncing his end when he was just getting started in his beginning. That's why I hope somebody hears this video that is waking up. Because I'm constantly showing you. See, this is why my job is so frustrating. Because over and over and over and over again, I show people how alive this universe is. But they don't want it. They just want to know about the boyfriend or the girlfriend or the money or I'm going to be a singer and stuff like that. That stuff is important. Nobody's putting that down. But as long as you miss the bigger picture, the universe is going to keep showing you how somebody is powerful, as great, as untouchable as R. Kelly. Just like Babylon the Great, in 1 hour, she becomes nothing. If you go to the Prophecy Club right now, you'll hear a white man telling you, America's time is up. Based on prophecy, everything. But if you're still dumbed down and in the matrix, you're still asking the same old questions. What about this? That's like everything you own is about to be destroyed, but you're asking some question that really shows you have no clue of what's going on. I like to fish. What's the weather going to be like Sunday? I want to go fishing. But you don't realize everything's going to be on fire soon. So you should be asking a question about how to survive that fire. And that's why you're getting these big shakeups, because that's the universe's last attempt to wake you up before you got to get what's coming to you. That's the karma. $12 play. We're at 12 now. Now you go down because you made a choice. You wanted to play. You wanted to live a life of sex. He even said, I admit it. That's right, I'm a freak. Don't bring your daughter around me. That's right, I don't care. Even in that song, he's telling you, y'all think I got money. I ain't got no money. They done took all my money. All my money gone. The record company ripped me off. I hate to admit I had to sleep in a hotel. I'm ashamed. But he's not ashamed that he did wrong. He said, but I feel sorry for the guy because the guy did go looking for religion. But he went to the wrong place. Went to church. Say, what? Ain't that where I'm supposed to go? One of the reasons why he's so messed up was because when he reached out, they ain't do jack for him. But just be groupies. So I feel sorry for the guy. Because here's a guy that actually went looking for him. If God shows that man mercy, that's going to be why. Because he went looking for God. But he went to the wrong place. So there's a shaking going on to the house in the left. We're going to still deal with Libra. But you can tell she has spiritual gifts, power. She even got Pluto there. And I'm sure she's heard me say it before. That's her finances, her love. It's all in her fulfilling her calling. And look at that. Even if you look at the full moon, that true north node is so close to the moon. And it's in the family. Because we've already said this person to the left has family situation that she's going to have to get some type of closure with. Because we run from family usually. Emotionally speaking, we do sometimes. Sometimes physically we do. See, my true north node is right in Cancer. So I'm going to be a fourth house person. But my past life, I was career oriented. That's why now I have career issues. Because the universe is trying to make me more family oriented, more motherly connected. That's my true north node in the second house, which means I really ain't going to see no money unless I do it. Just like this person ain't going to see no Jupiter money, no Venus money. Even if she's making it, they're going to shake your ass up like they did R. Kelly. You can already see it because you need to be in your 11th house. That's your true north node. That's your career. Your 11th house is really your 10th house. That's your medium coeli. And that's where your relationship will be. Your Libra. Everything is going to work out in your Juno and your Venus when you get to your true north node and your 11th house. Because until then, you're going to see these shakeups. And some people say, well, what about Doreen Virtue? She started off doing all this kind of stuff. Astrology, Archangel cards and all that. And then she went to Christianity. But everybody has a spiritual journey. I started off with the Christianity. And now I'm in the metaphysics. But I know I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. Right now. Like when you really walk with the Spirit, if you study the Apostle Paul, 1 minute they, when I say they, I mean whoever we call God or Creator, they told him to go one way. Then later on they told him to go another way. They did the same thing to Elijah. They did the same thing to Moses. All you got to do is read Exodus chapter 19, where they drove Moses crazy. Moses, secure the mountain. Moses said, I already did secure the mountain. They told him, go secure it. He said, I already did. He was getting upset. Why do you keep telling me to secure the mountain when you already told me to secure it? So when you walk in spirit, sometimes it be that way. But you got to learn how to just go. But the promise to the person in the left is, when she learns how to do that, see, there's a power. I don't give a damn about no broad. I'm going to be honest with you. If they come, they come. If they don't, they don't. I got other things to worry about. My health, everything. That's why they hit Apostle Paul with his health. Because once they take your health, you see life totally different. You may not be here tomorrow. I bet you if R. Kelly could go back, he'd do things a little bit differently. He's going to lose everything. He's embarrassed. And to see all these people that he did all this dirt with, they acting like they don't even know him. Because they better hope he don't start ratting people out. So far, he's kept the code. He's threatened a couple of those females. You better keep your mouth shut. I'll tell the whole world what a freak you are. But they don't care. They want him now. So they're ready to tell everything. So if he gets bitter, he might start talking. Or somebody might put a hit out on him. We got to get rid of this dude before he starts talking on us. Now that's one reason why I want to applaud Paul Bagley's wife. Because she was relentless on going after these pedophiles. So it's kind of funny when this person contacted me, that's what she was asking me about. Because she's associated with children. And she's called them her babies. And it's kind of funny how this reading went the way it went. So that's your calling. And that is your shakeup. But again, doesn't mean, oh, you're going to lose your job. Doesn't mean that. Sometimes you have to make your decisions. Just like I said, Doreen Virtue, I believe, in my honest opinion, she did a great job. But it came a time when she had to move on. But if you understand the spiritual walk, it's nothing out of the ordinary. Apostle Paul is probably one of the greatest metaphysicians, if I said that right, metaphysicians ever. So much that there's a lot of Christians that don't think Paul's a real apostle. There's a lot of Hebrews that don't like Paul. And he was a Hebrew. But he was also a Christian. But that's how great he was. Just like a lot of people don't understand me, but I know I'm right in line where I'm supposed to be. And that's why I don't waver, even though I lose a lot. So for Doreen Virtue, she did exactly what she should have done. And now Spirit has her somewhere else. But that's a walk with Spirit. I've been walking with Spirit for decades. There's always going to be duality to God. There's going to be a darkness. There's going to be a light side of God. There's going to be a feminine side of God. There's going to be a masculine side of God. And the feminine takes you way out here to what we call metaphysics. That's why it sounds mother. Meta, mother. Matter, mother. Mother, mother, mother. All you got to do is learn etymology. And you'll see her right there. There's a sun and a moon. Moon, mother again, M-O. It's not that hard. But when we get dumbed down, when all we want to talk about is earthly stuff, we miss it. Because we're basically saying we don't care. But you can't tell mother you don't care. Anybody that has a mother, you already know. She's going to make her presence known. Just like this person right here on the left. That number seventh house, they put Cancer right in her seventh house. But Cancer, the moon and Cancer is your mother. Aimom Coeli. So you can't get away from that. And also, that's almost like a what you call a semi-square. And that's at 0 degrees. With Mars going into Libra. Leo, going into Leo. And then you got your vertex right there. So they're doing that on purpose. Just like I told you. I'm not going to be able to get away from my dukes. In the second house. That's the money house. They put my true north node right there with Cancer. And then they put my moon in the 8th house. They kind of did the same thing with you a little bit differently. So these are things you're going to have to address. Because they're almost telling you, listen, you ain't going to get no money, you ain't going to get no love until you get to your true north node, that little horseshoe. And your 7th house of relationship, there go your mama right there. Cancer. And then your moon is right there with Libra. So they're letting you know, you can't, whatever that relationship is, it's got to be reckoned with one way or another. Because I had to learn. Listen, this year I had to tell my boss. My boss probably thought I was crazy. If you ask me who has been the most patient person to me in my life, it'd be my boss. Because he's seen me go through all kind of hell. And when I first started working, I had to tell that guy that. I had to tell him my priorities. Say, man, I look back at that conversation. That was probably one of the most craziest conversations I've had since I've been on this planet. Because I've been pushed so hard that I finally had to tell him, look, I'm not going to be pushed no more. I'm a fighter. You want to fight, we can fight. Boom. And I just gave him my history of how many fights I've had where I've won. But this is how I'm at this life because of my health condition, because of my mother's health condition, because of bad. This is how it's going to be. And I'll fight. And I had to tell that man to his face. And he's looking at me like, man, this guy has really lost it. But he's seen me fight for the job as well. I wasn't saying I wouldn't fight for the job. I was just letting him know I got priorities. And I thank God because I'm kind of respected. Even though I'm not able to do as much as I wish I could. But I'm still respected by my peers. And that's important to me. Especially being a Leo. Because we don't want no bad shine. But unfortunately, this game is going to be played the way God is going to play it. He's the boss. She's the boss, not me. So, why am I telling you this? Why is this important? Because you're also being pushed that way whether you realize it or not. And I'm showing you that in the natal chart if you're listening. But it's your job to take the notes. It's your job to really listen. Because you're going to have to get it. And that's why I applaud Doreen Virtue. Because she got it. We're all a product. Whether you admit it or not, we're all a product of Doreen Virtue. That's why she's not one of the leading New Agers. She is the leading New Ager. Even if right now she is identifying with Christianity more now than with the stuff that she was taught by the metaphysical world. And the faster you learn that, the faster your life will change. Because you're going to stop chasing some man. You're going to stop chasing some money. You're going to stop chasing all this stuff that's holding you back. Because she's shaking up your stars. So, well, I wasn't a big fan of R. Kelly. Well, I'm sure some of his music you liked. But it doesn't have to be R. It could be Mick Jagger. It could be anybody she wants to grab to shake up. To let you know. You better pay attention to me. Like I keep hearing the song right now. I write the songs that makes the whole world. So that's like Mama. His name, Manilow. So he's got the M-A in his name. Nana is Nana. That's Mama. You call your grandmother. Grandmother. Remember, She comes as a young girl, she comes as a woman, and then she comes as a crone, the old lady. So whenever you start to see the crone, that means she's telling you something is up. So that's the Libra message of this full moon in the 12th house. There has to be a reckoning of relationships, karma, law, partnerships. Even in her 7th house, her Vesta is 7. Now, whenever you see Vesta with the family, that's spirituality as well. But wherever you see Vesta in your chart, it's kind of like telling you a lot of energy goes there. And you have to watch out because you'll burn yourself out. And the number 7 pretty much is a spiritual number. And we might get more on that as we go around the chart, maybe. But what I would say is this. The advisory would be focused more on your spiritual gifts because you definitely got them. Give me a moment. This is probably going to be a long video. I'm just letting y'all know. Probably. All right, looking at the number 26. And we already said that about 8. The 8th house, Scorpio, karma, business. So they say it's conflict between a person who wants a domestic life as well as one trying to be more business minded or career minded. '26 can be a communicator from the realm of spirit. That's what I'm trying to tell you. That's your calling. Just for anybody that's listening, when you start with YouTube, whether you're a reader, whatever you're doing, once people see you, they start to pick up. I remember one time this female I had, she was new, so she was real humble. And that's usually when you're at your best. I used to do telemarketing, and it would always seem like the new people would give like way more deals than like people that had been there. Because people can hear it on the phone, they can hear it in your voice, you're new. And sometimes you're more humble and people can hear it and they're attracted to it. But anyway, this female, I was just watching her. And she kept asking a question with the cards. And they kept giving her the same. I thought it was amazing. But they kept giving her the answer. But it was amazing because no matter how she did it, they kept answering her question the same way. And she kept doing it. So I sent her a note. I said, stop doing that. I said, they're giving you your answer 3 times. You're not doing anything wrong. I said, you actually have a very good connection with them. That they go, because they will, like they'll tell you after a while they're not going to keep answering the same question. But they did every time she asked, they were nice enough to answer the question. So I told her she was really connected. I said, you have a really good gift and stuff. So she was happy that I sent her that note. So your Pluto at 26 degrees, you have that same connection. See, why I try to tell you guys this. Like I said, R. Kelly fucked up. He was looking for God and he went to the wrong place. He went to church. And you might be mad, but see the difference why you can't stop me, because unlike most people, you know, I actually did it. Like a lot of people talk trash and they never did it. I was there. That's why I won't stop doing what I'm doing. I could care how much money I lose. I could care how many people run away, because ultimately I will be right because I actually did it. Most people are based on feelings. They're based on all this other stuff that's not going to... You might believe you're the champion of the world, but when you get in the ring with somebody like Mike Tyson at his prime, he's going to knock your head off. Like Larry Holmes was one of the best boxers in his time frame, but he had nothing from Mike Tyson. I just finally watched that fight. I never watched that fight before. The only reason why I watched that fight because I never knew the history of it. See, Mike Tyson was a young kid when he watched Larry Holmes beat the crap out of Muhammad Ali. After that, unbeknown to Larry Holmes, Muhammad Ali actually came to a boxing school or prison that Mike Tyson was in. So he was actually watching a movie of Muhammad Ali. And when that movie was over, Muhammad Ali walked in the room. So now Mike Tyson really wanted to be like Muhammad Ali. Then Mike Tyson's trainer, Customato, knew Muhammad Ali. And he was saying to Muhammad Ali, you know, because he didn't know how sick Muhammad Ali was. Plus, Customato was old too. But he was saying to Ali, you could have wiped the floor up with Larry Holmes. He said, Larry Holmes is an amateur compared to you. How did you lose to him? But he didn't know how sick Muhammad Ali was. So then Customato said, I'm going to train this guy. I got a guy over here named Mike Tyson who's going to be a champion one day. I'm going to train this guy to get Holmes for what he did to you. So all this stuff is a true story. This stuff is not fabricated. So Mike Tyson was groomed to take out Larry Holmes for what he did to Ali by Customato. So now when a fight went on, because Larry Holmes was a prime boxer, he just kept holding Mike Tyson. And Mike Tyson was still young. So he didn't really know. He was a good boxer, but he didn't have experience. So he didn't know how to get in. Because he was trying to outbox Holmes, but Holmes would just hold on to him. So when Mike Tyson got to the corner, now Customato was dead. But the whole purpose of that fight was to avenge Muhammad Ali and honor Customato. So in the corner, Mike Tyson is saying in his corner, I can't get in. He's holding me. He's holding me tight. And they said to Mike Tyson, the guy said, bullshit. Stop saying he's holding you tight. That's bullshit. You're letting him hold you tight. So from then on, Mike Tyson came out the ring. And now you saw the beast come. And now from then on, he wouldn't let him hold him. And Holmes had nothing. And then this is how crazy, this is how wonderful the universe is. I keep telling you about the number 12. I just wish you guys listened. Because in that round, I don't know what round it was. And if it was 12, I would throw up. I don't know what round. I don't remember what round it was. But in that round, Holmes tried to bounce around like Ali. This is the universe saying, okay, payback time. See, I'm telling you guys about karma. And I really wish you would listen. The word Ma is right there. I keep telling you about Ma. You guys got to wake up and stop all this low level, oh, where's my love? You got to wake up because your time is running out. The material world, M, It's about to go into spirit. See, I speak spirit. That's why I ain't worried about nothing. If you look at her chart, it's all spirit. Scorpio, 11th house, all spirit. Pluto, all spirit. She's got to wake up. The universe ain't going to let her stay in the 10th house. Her love, everything is in that house. She's got to accept her divine purpose. Simple as that. Anyway, Larry Holmes thinks he's going to box. So he tries to bounce around like Ali used to bounce around. And Ali trained Larry Holmes. So everybody, that's the only round. And I don't know what round it was. Like I said, if I went back and looked at that tape, if that was round 12, I would throw up. But that's the round he came out where he tried to bounce. Tried to box, like bounce around. Like outdance Mike Tyson. And that's the ring, because he was losing it. See, those blows were affecting Larry Holmes. So by that round, he didn't know what to do. So he thought he could go back to the good old days when he could dance around you and all that stuff. But that just shows he was head punched. By that round, he was already head punched by Mike Tyson. Because that was the round when Mike Tyson handed his head to him. He beat the crap out that dude. But Larry Holmes went down like a champ. See, I'm not mad. Because that's the business. Larry Holmes should have beat Muhammad Ali up. That's the business. And Muhammad Ali should not have been in the fighting anymore anyway. So somebody had to beat him out because he wasn't going to leave. So that's the business. But unfortunately, it's karma. You beat up a legend, and now somebody who idolized that legend came to beat you up. Karma. And I'm trying to tell you, that's what's going on right now in the universe. And I hate to tell you this, but it's also going on in your lives. See, I got to tell you the truth. I can't come out here and tell you about love and make you feel good to take your money from you. And you shouldn't want to give your money to somebody who's lying to you. Shame on anybody that's so immature that you do that. But almost everybody out of thousands of people on YouTube do that. They don't want to hear the truth. They just want to hear the truth is, this matrix is about to burn. This is why your stars are falling. 2019, most of you guys, that's what you should be studying. 2019. Why? Why is that significant? And you don't got to take it from me, a black guy out here in New Jersey. Go to Prophecy Club. Mr. Stan. He's been doing this for years. Mr. Stan has been doing this for years. He's got an excellent video where he's showing you why 2019 is going to be significant. Take it from a white guy coming out of Frederick, Maryland. I think that's where Mr. Stan is. And Maryland has Mary in it. See, Mary is Isis. And Isis, her spirit, is Mayat, who created all things through turmoil. Out of chaos becomes order. This is what you should know. See, that's the real science that you're manipulating when you just want to know about your love life or your money and stuff like that. See, you're stealing from these people. And you're going to have to pay that price of karma. See, that's what a real metaphysician will tell you. And that's what Apostle Paul told you too. All right. So we can't do any much more with Libra on the chart to the left. Now we're going to go to the chart on the right. Isn't that interesting? Her Libra is a vertex with Pluto. Now the number 12, because my vertex is 12 too. And that's the meditation or the hangman. That's the hangman card. The meditation. Well, why do we need meditation? Because sometimes when you meditate, you connect to the spirit realm. I don't necessarily sit here and meditate. I pray. But I did start doing yoga because of my foot. So I will do my feet up against the wall. And that is a form of meditation too. And that is healing. I can tell you that. So in your 7th house, the chart on the right is Libra. Because it's all about Libra now. And I already explained what Libra is. but you have your Pluto retrograde. And usually that means something is going to be taken away. Now your hint is at number 16. And we know Pluto rules Scorpio and everything, but let's do number 16 first. '16 can go down to number 7. Spiritual number, intuitive number. This person could be spiritual and practical. So what they're telling you is you also could have a spiritual calling. Oh, they even say this. They say number 16 is concerned with being part of a harmonious relationship or multiple relationships. And that's kind of funny they should say that because, like I said, we're dealing with maybe 2 others or maybe more, but 2 others at least. Both of these charts, on the right and the left. But they're also saying that this person might spend a considerable amount of time alone. And it's kind of funny because your number 12 at your vertex means that. And that's interesting when you have a vertex with number 12 because it's relationship minded, but you could also spend, because I know I spend a lot of time alone. And that's kind of funny that you would see that with Libra. Because if you think, well, if you're with Libra, why would you be alone if Libra is about a couple? So somehow it leads to being alone. One interpretation of that could be because you've been in a situation that makes you want to be alone sometime. But that's going on in my 6th house. I have Scorpio, but I have Neptune 12 degrees and my vertex 12 degrees. And the Neptune card is the Hangman, which is about meditation and being alone. So somehow something would happen in my 6th house with Scorpio, which would also cause me to become more like the Hangman. And again, not saying you have to be alone, but we are trying to get to the bottom of what's on these natal charts. All right, so something would be taken away, though. It may have already happened or is going to happen, but something will be taken away, which will cause you to think more. Maybe be alone or maybe just think more. But see, that's the whole point. See, Pluto rules Scorpio. See, what I'm trying to tell you is if you have gifts, you should go back to your gifts. Because what good is it to me if I'm loving somebody who's never going to love me the way I love them? And all they're going to do is take. And then they'll be somewhere with some other guy. And now I have nothing. Like R. Kelly's going to have nothing now. See, he's going to be spending a lot of time alone now. And if they lock his ass up. Because he probably can't be with the general population. Especially since all he said all his life is I'm a freak. Well, the guys want to hear that in jail. They want you to come in and freak. Now you're going to freak me. Now you're going to do me. Now we think you're ready, Art. We're going to do you like those little girls that you did. So he's going to have to go into PC, Punk City. They call that. PC is when they put you alone. I forget why they call it protective custody. That's for the punks. Punk City. It's kind of funny. It's Al Capone all over. And I've been seeing Al Capone all over. Because he was a big-time gangster. Now, Al Capone was not no punk. But yet, when they put him in prison, he too, they had to protect him. Because there was a lot of people that wanted to put him to death. And that's Chicago too. So I keep trying to tell you, everything is metaphysics. The more you learn metaphysics, the more you understand stuff. Life is not a big mystery. All right. So something's going to be taken away that's going to help you be more spiritual and think more, meditate more. And again, meditate does not have to be formal, but she may meditate. She may do yoga. But sometimes meditate is just the way you look at life now. You look at it totally different. Like if you get hurt a lot, you go, you know what, I'm going to stop giving my love and giving my power to some man. And then some people say, I'll try a woman, I'll try same sex. But that might not work out either. What I'm trying to say is ultimately it's going to push you to where you go more inward. And that's not a bad thing. I'm a very inward person. But I don't mind dealing with people as well. But again, I'm not on no foolishness. I stay away from anything that's foolish. You got to grow up sooner or later. All right. Let's do a little bit more with the number 16. So the 16 is also the Tower card. So yeah, so you're 16, Tower card. Now we're talking about planet Mars. And look at it. It takes you right to planet Mars, takes you right to your Juno in Taurus, which is your sun sign. So you can tell it's a shakeup. On both of these charts, it's a shakeup. If you notice how dramatic this has been since I started, and I just have to tell the females, like, you guys don't see negativity in everything. You guys have got to learn how to welcome a situation. Like, a lot of people are intimidated by me because I have this stare, and I don't mean to have it, but I'm just a thinker by heart. So I have this stare because I've always got stuff on my mind. And people are intimidated. Don't be intimidated by that. Find out what's going on. Because it might be some good information. Just because I have an intense stare does not mean it's bad. It's just that that's how we assume it because we've been dumbed down. And we don't want any problems. That's why both of these women have that in common. Like, they put up with me. Like, they don't let me, don't be intimidated. It might be some really good stuff coming your way, but if you're scared, you're going to run from it. Because the chart on the right, I remember because I really had a reputation at one time. And I've tried to tone down, I really have. But I just have a reputation. I'm going to tell you what I see on your chart. Because that's what you should want. That's what you should pay for. Why pay for me telling you, oh, I see Venus. Oh, love is coming your way. So now, oh, wow, that was a wonderful reading. Not only am I going to pay him, but I'm going to give him a tip too. But what if it doesn't come true? I don't want to jerk you for your cash. You want the guy that's going to tell you the truth. Therefore, you can prepare better for it. So if you're noticing on both of these charts, Venus is popping up in these places we're going to. So when I see something like that, how I feel, they're trying to tell you to get past the bullshit so that you can really get to the love. And stop selling yourself short. Ironically, there was another female I used to do these two charts with. And she was Scorpio. And I told her that for a long time. And she would never get it. I think she finally got it. Because she stopped talking to me. And the last time she spoke to me, that's what she said. She said, thanks to you, you woke me up. She said, I'll never let a man take me for granted again. So I'm kind of thinking she met somebody. She just didn't tell me. No, I'm like your mother. Like, this is how you do your mother. You go to your mother when you want something, you get it, then you leave her. Poor mom. So I'm like mom, but I've always been that way. But I just got finished telling you my true north node is in Cancer. And that's Imam Kweli. That's the mother. In the 4th house. But my true north node is in my second house in Cancer. So my second house has become my fourth house because I have to be more family minded in this life. That's my true north node. Because in my previous life, my south node, I was more career minded. See, I was like Al Capone. I was more about the career and the bottom line in the previous life. So now I have to be more family oriented in this life in order for me to see second house financial blessings and stuff like that. So her Mars is right there with that Venus. But so is Juno. 0, 1, 2. And she's even got healing at 10 degrees. So that's how I'm reading it. Something has got to be taken away. And not only has it got to be taken away, but she's got to let it go. Because something bigger is coming. Both of y'all. Venus is right there. And see, her Taurus is her second house. And I believe when we started out, we said something about Taurus. Yeah, we went to the second house with Venus and Jupiter. Money and love. With Sagittarius. And see, Sagittarius is your higher self. And Sagittarius is usually has more class. A little bit more mature. Like when an astrologer sees Sagittarius on your chart, depending on where it's at, they'll say, oh, that's a second relationship. Or that's a second marriage. Like because you've learned what not to do from the first one. It's a little bit more mature. And even that Venus is at 14 degrees, which is Sagittarius. And the Jupiter is at 15 degrees, just like hers. The one on the left. See, I can't make this up. See, that's what I'm getting from this reading. You've got to know when to. And see, let go doesn't always mean let a person go. Sometimes let go just means you ain't going to put up with that bullshit no more. I'm letting that bullshit go. Oh, you're not going to get away. Like I had to tell my boss, we're not going to do that this time. You guys are not going to accuse me of no shit I didn't do. I'm not going to kill myself for nobody. I've got to be alive. I got an older mother to take care of. See, in the past life, I wouldn't have did that. According to my natal chart, in the past life, I was all career. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. I was just like, I don't know if I was a pedophile or not, but I know in a past life, I definitely was career minded like R. Kelly. That's one thing you can't say that man made his money, even though he didn't know how to keep it. That dude was about that business. He knew to put that music out. That's gangster. That's Al Capone. But in this life, I can't be that way. I have to be more considerate. And that's what happened in 2018. There was a tug of war going on between career and non-career matters. Career versus relationships. Career versus family. And I've been in that war. And I've got this shit kicked out of me. Plus, it was a foot up Leo's ass. Most of 2018 was putting a foot up Leo's ass. And I'm a Leo. That's my sun sign. But they say the reason being is because probably in a past life, when you're a Leo, you probably dealt a lot with ego. Possibly in a past life. But you're still paying for that now. And a lot of people don't like that. But you can see it on your natal chart. Just like when you see her Pluto retrograde in the 7th house. That's usually past life stuff. And a lot of times when you're dealing with your moon, you're dealing with past life stuff. Because my moon is in the 8th house. The 8th house Scorpio is usually past life stuff. Pluto rules Scorpio. So you are dealing with past life stuff in your present life. But instead of saying, well, instead of like saying I don't believe that, or instead of, arguing against that, well, that's not fair. You need to get ready for it because it's still going to happen regardless.
See, even in his song, I Admit It, R. Kelly is saying some woman told him, don't give up, you're a prophet. You inspire people's life. It's obviously you have the anointing. And I'm not saying he doesn't, because there is some spirituality to that man. And I'm not justifying it or condoning it, but the fact of the matter is, throughout history, there's always been young girls with guys. That's nothing new. If you really want to be honest, I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm just telling you as a fact. Just go throughout the world. There's always been young girls getting married and stuff like that. When David was about to die, they brought some young female in there. They didn't say how old she was, but we know she was young. She was damn sure much younger than he was. And they put her in the bed with him. So what I'm trying to tell you is the metaphysical reasons behind everything. And when that guy was saying 12 play, he was predicting a time. And because it's happening right now, I'm trying to tell you it's this time. Because the people who used him knew what time it was. They knew what time they was going to start making changes. Never before in the history of our existence has our government shut down to the extent that it is. Never before have you heard of 7,000, 70,000 secret indictments. And all you got to do is go to the Prophecy Club. You don't have to listen to the black guy in New Jersey. Go listen to the white guy in Frederick, Maryland. I think that's where he's at. Mr. Stand. Prophecy Club. So it's something up. And you should want to know about it because it's going to affect your relationships. It's going to affect your career. Because if we have to take it down to the basics so that people understand it, then that's what we'll do. But once again, something has to happen in her 7th house, the chart on the right, but she's got to let it happen. She's got to learn how to be like the hangman, where you just have to learn how to let go and let God. Prayer, meditation. See, the hangman is upside down. He can't even walk away. He can't even run away. That's why I got foot issues. But guess what? In my 12th house, in my 10th house, that's career, is Pisces. What is Pisces connected to? Your feet. And I got feet issues. A lot of health issues right now. That's why some days I can't come to work. And ironically, where I work at, my soulmate is there. I have not seen my soulmate in a long ass time. Thought I was going to see her today. She never showed up. Last time I worked, she wasn't there. But she still works there. But that was supposed to be the big meeting. But see, it was a metaphysical connection. She and I have always had a metaphysical connection. She knows that I know it. She used to come in dreams. We used to be with each other in dreams. But again, it wasn't her purpose. Now, had I pushed it, could it have been sexual? Yeah. But it's always going to be sexual on planet Earth. For some reason, we're just so much... We don't want to ascend to where we really should be. We don't want to go back to our spiritual connections and our gifts and everything we had before this matrix came. For some reason, we like being dumbed down. And for some reason, we must like Kanye was right. We must like it because we keep on putting up with it. That's why in her 7th house, they're saying, let it go. Something is about to be shook up or taken away or whatever. However you let it go. And it doesn't always have to be something gone. Sometimes it just has to be we don't put up with it. See, we have to make that choice. Like I basically told my boss, nah, not this time. Since I've been on this planet, I've been victimized by racism, lies, false accusations. Everything I've taken to court, I've always won. And I'm not putting up with it this time. I mean, that man probably thought I was out. But that's what happens. When you beat somebody so bad, they probably go, no more. Like Roberto Duran. No mas. No mas. Because Sugar Ray Leonard was whipping his ass. No more. So sometimes when that tower comes, number 16, the Mars energy. But in order for you to get to that Venus in your 2nd house of the finances that the universe is trying to bless you with, you've got to say no, one way or another. And your vertex means you have to spend more time contemplating some type of spiritual connection, meditation, prayer, whatever it is. Because you're not going to get to that Venus at your 0 degrees, that new point in your second house of that Taurus energy. And right now the universe is, well, look at the universe. What is the universe saying? Let's count it up, people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th house, Taurus, with Juno. With Juno. Now, why is number 23 important? Because the tarot card only gives you 21. The final one is 21, which is the world card, which is Saturn energy, which is karma. But Saturn rules Capricorn, which is career. And then it goes back to 0, which is number 22 card, which is the Fool card, which is a new initiation, a new beginning. Trusting the mother, because it's the mother, it's the high priestess who sends the tarot card, the Fool out, the 0 degree, the 0 card. See, all the stuff is going on in your life, which is why all you guys are smart enough to go to astrology. But a lot of y'all just go to tarot cards, and I'm telling you, you're making a big mistake. You need to come here and do exactly what I'm doing, because you see it all. Tarot card is just telling you it could, maybe it will, could or would, and you better hope you're dealing with somebody that's really good, and you better hope that they're having a good day, because even a tarot card could make a mistake and have a bad day. But with these, you see it right here. It's hard evidence. This is why this is what I do. It's hard. There's no more of an expert than what you're seeing right here, because you see it. And if you're listening and taking notes, you gotta get it. The only reason why people still don't get it because they get lazy. They don't want to take notes. They just want me to go love. Love is coming in. Let's just go where Venus is. Let's go to your 7th house. Let's go to Venus. And let's go to your vertex or your Juno. That's what we have to go to. And then I just have to make you believe it. And you know what? Even R. Kelly said that. If I believe it, I can receive it. Because that's kind of true sometimes. If you go somewhere with positive attitudes, you're putting out positive energy. You might get positive energy back. But my fact is, you should be able to see it as well. Believe it, receive it, but you still got to see it. So I preach the seeing part, the hardcore evidence that you can see it, because I'm trying to build you up to who you really are. I want her to go to her 11th house so that she doesn't have to keep worrying about that. See, a person of power, they make you powerful. Now listen, this was a bad year. But ironically, people came out of nowhere. Because I'm always giving. Always, since I was little. I'm a Leo. This is all a real Leo does. Not every Leo does it, but a real Leo does. We're generous. We're always giving. To our own detriment. But what makes me happy is when I see the universe open up. And that's why I shut down my other channel. Because it was selfish people never doing nothing. All you people do is take. I'm talking about those people on the other channel. All you do is take. So I shut it down. I got sick of it. It hurt me to see that. My whole life has been giving. You want to stay down on this world? You want to go down into the fire when God takes this world down? Keep on being selfish. Keep on taking and never giving back. All right. So, Libra will be shaken up. Your 7th house will be shaken up. I don't know what the chart on the left, what her situation is with her moms or anything in your Cancer is teenage to adult education, land and property or real estate, family and ancestors, your health, your heart, transportation or travel. Whoever raised you as a mother position when you were younger, that's Aimom Kweli. That's the moon in Cancer, and that person will be in your subconscious mind while you're on this planet, maybe even longer, but definitely in this life. So you have some type of reckoning coming there. And also Vesta is spiritual, but she's also isolationist, believe it or not. Vesta is also isolation. She can also be incarceration. Anywhere where there's heat or energy, she can be. But you have to really connect or reckon with that person as well. And notice how Mars is right there, 0 degrees. And her Mars is right there at number 16 with her Pluto. Remember, Pluto and Mars both have a ruling over Scorpio. Mars used to rule Scorpio. And then when you look at your Scorpio and your 8th house, Uranus retrograde means anything could happen. Anything could happen suddenly. We may get more information on that, but I want to look at the number 18. And that's 666, just so you know. And 666 means divine love on a natal chart. Yep, the moon card. So your 18 is the moon card. So we're definitely dealing with reincarnation. We're also dealing with this full blood moon, and everything I'm saying is coming right out of your 8th house of Scorpio. So at this time, you have to be very careful, again, of misconceptions, or something may look a certain way, but only during this period, or when its moon energy changes, it's going to look differently. So you want to make sure you're careful that you don't overcommit yourself. Be careful, because this is a time when people can say, oh, you know, it's so perfect. And this is a time when people take risks that they normally wouldn't take. And next thing you know, you got a disease, things such as that, because you're taking risks that you normally wouldn't take. But it felt so good that you just went with the flow. Don't do that at this time period. Hidden impulses in the hearts of those carrying the energy of 18. So be careful. If the person whose number is 18, they could be psychologically imbalanced. And they could even suffer from imbalanced mental state. So you have to be very careful right now of your mental state, your psychological state. The 8th house is nothing to play with. That is one of the most powerful houses. Scorpio is the most powerful zodiac sign. Has a lot of psychic abilities. Has a lot of healing abilities. But it also connects to other worlds, other past lines, past lives. Nothing to play with. Be very careful. See, they even talk about the depth of illusion and deception. All going on. And it can come out of nowhere and disappear because you're dealing with Uranus energy. It could be very explosive. And it deals with all that stuff. Could be violent, could be murder. It could be any of that stuff. It could be any of that stuff or none of that stuff. Especially with Uranus retrograde. But it's definitely a time to be very, very careful. And anything could come out of the woodworks now. Definitely dealing with karma. It says karma, destiny, and your life path. And see, your South Node is your 12th house. Is that your 12th house? Yes, it is. Pisces. So that's all about karma. Don't serve people so much that you burn yourself out or you risk yourself. Even your true North Node is 14. That's duality. That's temperance. That's Sagittarius again. But it's also duality. Male, female, good and evil. And your 14, your Vesta, is also 14. So you got that duality going on. Ironically, your Juno... Oh, I take that back. But your Juno still has that 2. That 2 could be a couple, or it could still be duality too. So at the end of the day, both of y'all got a lot of major stuff coming. And I can't stress it. Do not underestimate what I'm saying. Because some people will go, well, I don't notice anything different. There's still stuff going on. You just have to just be aware. That's the best thing I can tell you. It's like I said again, when Holmes fought Tyson, had Tyson fought Holmes when Holmes was in his pride, it would have been different. Because Holmes was one of the best boxers. The only reason why Holmes is never going to get the respect he deserves is because he took out Muhammad Ali. But Larry Holmes was one of the best boxers. And Cus D'Amato was speaking from his limited understanding. At that time, he was older. He didn't really know. So, everybody worshipped Ali. But Holmes was good too. I'm not saying Holmes was Ali, but Holmes was a good boxer too. Had Tyson fought Holmes in Holmes' prime, when Holmes maybe could move around a little bit more or whatever, it may have been a different fight. And even Mike Tyson said Ali in his prime would have knocked me out. And Tyson was a good boxer. A lot of people just think because he was so brutal that he was just a beast and all. No, he was a good boxer. Just like you got somebody, I'm not going to say the dude's name. There's a dude they call the Beast right now. He's good, but he's lazy. So he could never have been one of the greatest because he's lazy. But he's really, really good. And if he had kept going, he may have been one of the greatest, but he's lazy. So he's the Beast, but he'll never be one of the greatest. He could never really take that title because he doesn't want to put the work in like Ali put in or Tyson. What I'm trying to tell you is never underestimate what you're being told. And sometimes we're so caught up in the material world that we're not letting spirit in. This is why there's a shakeup. But this is a time when the universe is trying to get you to see that there's so much more that's being offered to you if you're willing to trust the spirit. In my opinion, Doreen Virtue is the greatest at what she did. Because through her archangels and through everything she did, she opened up this world that the Matrix closed on us. Because your Bible is an astrological book. I studied the Bible. To think that it's evil, you're being lied to. It's not evil. Now what happens just like anywhere else? Just like you could go to church and have something bad happen to you. In any world you go into, there's going to be good, there's going to be evil. So that you don't go on to the other side if you don't know what you're doing. Because there is evil there. Very evil, very demonic evil. But that doesn't make everything evil. Some people believe that it is. But if you go in saying it's evil, that's what you're going to get. But that's what you went in. That's a very powerful world where you can think things into existence. That's why they gave you Psalms 23. David went into the same world, but he said, I don't fear no evil. Because he knew how to go in. In Matthew chapter 4, Jesus went into that same wilderness. It was evil all around him. But he didn't get consumed by it. Because he went in the same way David did. But if you just go into that world, you don't know what's going on. Yeah, you will get played out. It's a lot of liars there, tell you all kind of lies, all that. Oh, I'm your deceased uncle. It's not your uncle, that's some demon. So you got to be careful. But that doesn't make the whole world bad. You just got to know where you're going in. Now, as far as Doreen Virtue, she went in, she learned all that stuff. She went in, she learned a lot. But then she came out. Now she wants to be Christian. So now she's being filled up with a lot of Christian doctrine that's based on a lot of stuff that's just not true. Because why would they use a star to find Jesus if astrology is wrong? Now the first thing a Christian does, oh, that's not astrology, that's astronomy. Okay, but how come the star told you his whole life, who he would be, the Messiah, what he would do. If it was just astronomy, it would just be a star, right? So why would a star lead them to Jesus and tell them his whole life? That's astrology. That's not astronomy. Let's stop the BS. And I could continue. You're dealing with somebody that did this my whole life. So you can't fool me. You can't fake me. All you can do is run. That's all they do is run away. To their own demise. Because this is the stuff you're supposed to have for your life. That's why your natal chart is your Bible, your personal Bible. To run away from your natal chart is just stupid. It's self-destructive. So again, both of these individuals are being told it's time for a shakeup. And if you want the better love that you claim you're looking for, you got to stop selling yourself short. Because ironically, however it happened, my boss respected it, even if he didn't like it at first. You'll never be respected as long as you keep on settling. And that's why I said women are kind of, they make me laugh to a certain degree in some ways. Because I don't know if y'all like shoes or not, but like the women I know love shoes. They'll fight you to the death for a shoe. Their shoe or something like that. But you should have that same passion for a relationship, for everything else. Instead of just remaining quiet or putting up with it, or just say, okay, well, I'm just going to go cheat. Because that's what a Libra tends to do. Not just a Libra, other signs too. Scorpio's another one. But it's just easier to go cheat. Instead of cheating, why not hold your ground like you will for something you really want? Like I said, there's some people that have had the same job for decades. I know a woman that went to her job in blizzards, and her job was nowhere near her house. She would literally go out in blizzards by herself, in blizzards, to get to a job. So if you had that same determination for a relationship, I bet you your relationship would last a lot longer and probably be a lot better. But for some reason, we tap out when it comes to a relationship. But this natal chart is saying it's going to be a shakeup in these areas that we're talking about. And it's not just me wanting to preach to y'all. This is what the charts are saying. That's why I said take more notes so you can see it. Don't just sit there and listen because you think I'm just talking. Now I'm just looking to see where else. I don't know if I want to make this a part 1 and a part 2. I don't know. I may do that. I'm just looking at the charts. I'll be with y'all momentarily. Okay, the chart on the right, her 10th house has a medium Coeli. Because like I said, the medium Coeli is always going to work with the true north node, which in her case is her 6th house. But you see Saturn right there again is 7, so you got that spiritual number 7 again with Saturn. So again, they just telling her that she's got to become more spiritual.
You can't get past it. And that's why if you look at her 10th house, it ain't really nothing there. And even the number 3, 3 degrees, medium quality, even 3 is still a spiritual number to a certain degree. But it could deal with Gemini 2 or the 3rd house. But you just see the karma with the 7. And then when you look at the chart, when you look at the moon chart, the full moon chart, you see Capricorn with Saturn, again, karma. And the number 13 is like the divine feminine, but it's like the dark divine feminine. Because there's a 13th zodiac sign called Ophiuchus, but that's the dark feminine. And that's why in John chapter 3, if you notice, Nicodemus came to Jesus in the nighttime. That's the dark divine feminine. That's the evening. And if you notice, they start talking about the mother and the womb. The same thing I'm talking about. This is how you know I know what I'm talking about. That's why I said I have no time for foolishness. Because there's people out here that want you to stay with. I don't want to be where you are because you want the lie. That lie is going to burn you up. That lie is going to put you in a place of eternal damnation, of burning up. I'm sorry if you don't care, if you don't believe it. I could believe I'm the most beautiful man on the planet. That doesn't mean the women will agree with me. You can believe whatever you want to. That doesn't mean it's not going to happen. This is something I study. This is my life. This is why I won't compromise it, even though I could have made a lot of money doing what the rest of these people are doing, ripping you off. But I won't do that because I know where that's going to lead you. And this is why now the universe is trying to tell you that I'm right by showing you the number 12, showing you R. Kelly, showing you Libra in the 12th house, showing you all these stars that are being exposed and they're being brought down. He's already telling you in the song he wrote, I admit it. He's telling you in his confession, I'm not rich. You guys think I'm rich. I don't have any money. I'm sleeping in a hotel. All my money is going to paying these people off. All these money are going because the record companies are taking all my money. He doesn't have any money. But y'all thought he was a great star. Y'all thought he was this wonderful guy. And he's telling you he's none of that stuff. Out of his own mouth. So that's the universe's way of asking you, when are you going to wake up and realize that guys like me are telling you the truth? And I'm giving you all these references to help you realize maybe he's right. Maybe I need to become more spiritual. Maybe what's a priority to me is not really a priority. 2018 was all about a battle between the Capricornian, Saturnian energy and the non-Capricornian, like spiritual stuff, relationship, family, stuff like that. So we'll go now. We're just going to go back because I really feel like we've hit that nail on the head, if you ask me. And we'll deal with the other stuff as we go around this natal chart. So Moon and Leo. Now I'm a Leo. My sun sign is Leo. My moon sign is Capricorn. If you notice, according to this chart, the sun has just left Capricorn and now is in Aquarius. So let's see if that's true. Let's make sure that's true. Not yet. Oh yeah, well, yeah. On January 20th, it will be in Aquarius. So it will have, just like it said, it will have just entered Aquarius, leaving Capricorn. So that should tell you right there. It's leaving the career Capricorn, the ruler of the 10th house, and going into the house of the I know. But no matter whether you like it or not, Aquarius is kind of considered a spiritual house. And that's why your 11th house may be important. See how her moon is in her 11th house? At that 23.
Now, we have to be careful with the number 23 because it breaks down to the number 5. And the 5, it doesn't have to mean violence, but it can mean violence. See, they're saying 23 could be chaos, just like Uranus. Number 5. There were 23 Grand Masters who composed of the Knights Templar. Now, why are the Knights Templars important? This is why it's important. The Knight Templars and I think the Knights of Malta, Donald Trump is connected to those. And believe it or not, they're also connected to the real Hebrews, the people of color. You need to know this stuff because this is what 2019 is all about. I just thought I'd throw that out there so you know that. So Kurt Cobain is connected to the number 23, and 23 is connected to Nirvana. Now, Nirvana is another word for paradise, and paradise at the cross at Luke chapter 23. I hope you're hearing me. Luke chapter 23 is where the darkness showed up at the 6th hour, when Jesus said, today you will be with me in paradise, or today you will be with me in Nirvana. And that darkness showed up just like the nighttime or evening is darkness of John chapter 3. See, all this stuff is metaphysics, which is connected to astrology. So that's why I keep trying to tell you about the importance of 2019. And this is why people should be waking up to that importance of 2019. Because if you continue to stay in the matrix and you're just worrying about material things, physical things, you may regret that for a long, long time, maybe everlasting. That's all I can tell you. I'm not preaching theology. I'm telling you truth for people like me that are awake. And how did Kurt Cobain die? Again, a shotgun. How did John F. Kennedy die? Allegedly by a shotgun. A 12 gauge was a Il Nana. This stuff is smacking you in the face. You guys got to wake up. And I think they're saying the letter W is the 23rd letter of the alphabet, I think they're saying. So keep an eye on letter W, but also W is 2 V's put together. W is also M upside down. These are all things you can keep in mind. Remember, the Grox one always tells you about the V. He got that from me, though, just to let you know. The V shape, or the number 5, the 5th age. And some people say that's the age of Aquarius, the 5th age. But that's also the woman's vagina. Once again, they say this person has a capacity. It could be both emotional or spiritual. But right now I'm telling people you need to be focusing more on your spiritual. So, Moon in Leo. New beginnings, but it's emotional, internal, it's motherly. So there will be connections between a Leo and the mother. So my Leo is in, well, my second house has Cancer because the moon rules Cancer, and I'm a Leo, so that would affect my second house. Now, if you look over here again, what do we say about the house on the left? See, your vertex is going to be somebody you meet or a significant meeting or a significant event. It's at number 6 degrees, the house on the left. And your 8th house. And again, that's all about the Scorpio, the soul. So again, your 8th house is going to connect to your 11th house, that Leo energy. So you might want to be aware of that. And that could be somebody, vertex, a meeting with a Leo, a Scorpio, or a Leo. And it could be like dating, because that's Leo, meeting a new person or dating. Because your sun, which rules the Leo, is in your Libra sign of your 10th house. With the moon. Again, and the moon is in Leo right now. Well, for this full moon anyway. For this full moon, it's in Leo. So I just gave you all the possibilities right there. And remember, Leo is fun, childish, creative. But remember what I said about Childs with people like R. Kelly, stuff like that. So you gotta understand this, because it could be the universe trying to warn you or tell you something. And her moon is in Aquarius, and that's where the sun will be. So it's gonna be like a new moon for her. So a new moon for you, because the sun, your moon is Aquarius, and the sun is gonna be in Aquarius. So it's a new moon for you. At that number 23, which we just brought out. So be careful, because we said that number 23 could mean chaos. Doesn't have to mean chaos, but it could mean chaos. And sometimes chaos, if you understand metaphysics, chaos means 6. But this is in your 11th house of friends, association, and groups. Now, I was just thinking, I think there's a scripture too, there's a Bible scripture where Jesus says, isn't there 12 hours in a day? But basically, it was like after the 12 hours, judgment comes. So, again, him coming out saying 12 play. And now we still see, he says the number 12 again with Foxy Brown. Now this whole thing is going on where they say, oh, Foxy Brown and Jay-Z and R. Kelly. So all this stuff, and even Jay-Z, if you study how he came out, if you understood the metaphysics behind the letter J, because if you understand numerology, it goes from 0 to 9. The letter I is number 9, the final number. And then J was always considered a fake number. Like, he said, oh, my name is Jay. He said, my name is J. Hove, and stuff like that. So everything he was speaking was metaphysically. Even like Magna Carta, that's metaphysics. You have to study what Magna Carta is all about. Even when they say make America great again, that's Magna. That's the MAGA. But that goes back to that Magna Carta, whatever was going on with Jay-Z and other stuff that I'll be showing on my other channel that I talk about. Like, all this stuff is metaphysical. So it's kind of telling you, but when you hear a song, you just, oh, I love that song, or you don't love the song, or whatever. You keep hearing it from a dumbed down spot. And that's the best way to describe it, because even though all your movies is telling you all this stuff, but for some reason, we don't want to hear it, because we don't want the world, and we don't want judgment. We just want we want what we want. And people can show you all these videos of all the stuff going on right above us, but nobody takes note, just like the scripture said it would happen. So when I see this, what am I supposed to say? Just totally overlook it and just say something, happy pappy? That would just be foolish. That's like me looking at your house and seeing it's on fire, and you're upstairs, but you don't realize it. Downstairs, your whole downstairs is in flames. It's just a matter of minutes before you're totally immersed in flames. And I'm just supposed to just, oh, I don't care. I can still make some money off of her. Plus, she doesn't want to know that anyway. But yeah, she does want to know it, but she doesn't want to know it. She just doesn't want to face the facts. But she does want to know, because who wants to burn up in the fire when that whole roof, that whole floor burns and she goes down in the fire? So that's where we're really at. And I just hit 219 on my audio, which is so, because it's 2019. So that's why I said go to the Prophecy Club. Let a white guy from Frederick, Maryland tell you. But anybody knows there's a reason why he called it 12 play, whether he knew it or not. Plus let's be honest, how come these guys are still around? Most people in rap they play out after 2 years. So how are these guys still around 20 years and they're still making hit music? Why? When everybody else, their contemporaries, we don't know those guys. When I say jazz, do y'all know who Jazz is? Because all of y'all know who Jay-Z is, but do y'all know Jazz? That's who he used to run with. You understand? So how did Jazz, who was a better rapper back then than Jay-Z, how is Jazz, we don't know who Jazz is, but everybody knows who Jay-Z is. Why? So all these people are here for a reason. And they're all prophetic pointers. A lot of y'all don't remember. When Aaliyah died, I knew something was about to happen. I didn't know what it was. But shortly after Aaliyah dying, that was your whole 9/11. Alright, give me one moment. Alright, so now looking at the full moon. Ninth house, so still dealing with Sagittarius. And you have it there again. Oh, I do want to say something else about that Sun and Leo. So that's what I'm saying. So even because she asked me about that question. So when you see the vertex cross, that can be a significant event, a significant coming together, a significant breaking up or leaving, a love interest, a soulmate, a twin soul. Twin soul is your twin flame. It's the same soul, different bodies. Soulmate is anybody who's in your soul tribe, but it's usually somebody you had a closer relationship with. Could be present life, past life. Significant coming together or significant breakup. Leo does deal with children, because she was asking me about a situation she has with children. And she is asking, she said it may be time to move on or whatever. So that could be the situation. Again, like what I do, I just show you what's possibly there. But a lot of times, believe it or not, we make decisions and things like that. Like where I'm at, my job, I'm holding on to it. Now the universe is shooking me up, but I just hold on. But ultimately, like I said, if God really want me out of there, I'm gonna be out of there one way or another. But I can honestly tell you, I've been walking with God for decades. God has been here with me. But all I can tell you is this: you can't have a lot of pride. And see, sometimes like when you're a female, sometimes guys are like this too. But see, females like stuff. They want to have stuff. They want to look a certain way. They want a certain lifestyle. Bam, 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 bam. So when God starts calling on you, knocking on your door, you may not want to hear what God got to say, because you ain't trying to sacrifice. And a lot of people have pride. Because there might be somebody that'll say to you, hey, I'll help you. And you'll be like, nah, I don't want that person to help me. I want to be able to do it on my own. But when God calls, that's how it is. And that's why I said, for anybody who knows who Doreen Virtue is, if you could still find her earlier material, because she kind of tells you how God will totally change your whole world around. That's why when you see like Uranus and Uranus retrograde and Pluto retrograde, see, that's a devastation headed your way, if it hasn't already happened. Like this person on the right, only she knows her life. I don't know her life. I just know little different readings here and there.
But sometimes when you see a lot of retrogrades, Pluto retrograde, Uranus retrograde, that could be devastation. Even Mars and all that, that could be devastating your life. But there may be a reason for it, because if you're destined to be a spiritual person, it may take those shakeups to get you there, because you're not going to go willingly. Just like Jonah didn't go willingly. The book of Jonah, it would take you probably 20 to 30 minutes to read the book of Jonah. It's only 4 chapters. But God shook that man's life up. Not just his life, but everybody's life around him. So it's like that sometimes. But it's better you can be aware of it, because don't wait till it happens, because then you're going to wish you had somebody like me who can kind of tell you what's going on, because I've been there, done that. I'm fighting now, to be honest with you. I'm fighting now. But see, my worst enemy is actually the truth. Because if I just did like everybody else, I'd be probably one of the richest people in the area. Because I was doing unbelievably well when I first came out with this. But people don't like that I tell the truth. They don't want me to tell the truth. They want me to lie to them. They want me to just talk about love and everything's gonna be happy and boom, 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 boom. And I mean, I'd probably be going to the bank every day. But I don't do that. I tell them the truth, so nobody wants to hear the truth. But unfortunately, that's what's going to happen. The truth. Like this chart to the right, you see it. All you have to do is look at it. You see them retrogrades. You see where they're at. There's a shake-up coming, whether you like it or not. Now, you can either get ready for it, or you could just be shocked when it happens. But I hate to hear. I had one female, I remember telling her, leave that guy alone. He's going to beat the crap out of you. And I guess she didn't move fast enough, because he beat the crap out of her. He beat her so bad she had to pack up all her stuff and get the hell out of the area to get away from him. So when you see these warnings, you gotta heed them. That's the whole that's what you. Anybody that's reading you, that's not telling you the truth, I'm sure they're gonna pay for that. Like they're probably gonna be burning in hell for eternity. You don't play with this. This is real. This is real people. We're the physical representation of the people that are in the spirit realm. Really, whether you want to hear it or not, you're actually walking through their life. Like God is living his life through your life, whether you know that or not. Whether you know that or believe it, I could care less. But the more you study, all you're really seeing is the 2 polarities, the positive and the negative. Like if you look at the chart right now, the one in the middle. Look, you see the sun on one end, and then look right up, it's the moon. It's 2 polarities, the masculine and the feminine. That's what all this shit is about. That's what all this stuff is about. The faster you realize that, the faster you can start to come to more realistic decisions in your life and make better decisions. Because otherwise you're going to keep making your life based on somebody or something else. Some man or some money or something physical that you're interested in. You're going to keep making your life based on that. But what happens when God takes that away from it? What happens when God takes your stars and everybody you looks up to and shows you how fallible they are? When you do it God's way, you learn to stand on yourself. You're going to learn how to stand on yourself in spirit. Now, if you go to Matthew chapter 14 right now, when Peter walked on water, guess what word is there? Spirit. Why? Why did your Bible do that? Why did the moment Peter learned how to walk on water and be a supernatural person by himself, why was the word spirit there? Because the moment you learn how to connect with spirit and walk in spirit, you're not going to need no fucking boyfriend. If the boyfriend's there, he's there. If the boyfriend's not there, he's not there. You'll be fine. The power is you. It'll always be you. But you have to receive it to believe it. And believe it to receive it. Not saying you won't have a boyfriend. You probably will, but you'll have a better relationship. Like where I'm at now, they come to understand that. And I can't tell you because I can't even understand it. And I've been walking with God my whole life. I can't even understand how my job understands it better than me. Where people are looking at me like the way I would think they would look at me, they don't. And I don't even understand it. But God does. And when I say God, I say spirit, I say universe, because it's the same entity. It's the same power. You're making a mistake by letting this world cause you to divide it. You're the one that's dividing it. And the moment you divide it, you play yourself out. And they know that. The moment you think there's no difference. That's why when you study Messiah, he says we're one. We're all one. There's a power in oneness. But evil energy divides and conquers that.
So people stay defeated, and then they sell out the greatness for the crumbs. Like, some people are so desperate, just any attention. They'll sell out everything for just any attention. Even though that's the worst person you could do that with. It's the worst situation. There's so many people that have gone to early graves because they jumped in bed unprotected, but they just wanted to be with somebody or something. They wanted to feel something. Like people rushing to get high because they want to run out of the reality of the Matrix. But it's nothing wrong with the Matrix if you take your power back. So true north node, this moon sign is showing you where the moon is looking at for some reason it's looking at Cancer and Sagittarius. The ninth house is ruled by Sagittarius. This could be in-laws, but this could also be higher laws, because I keep trying to tell you right now you're going under higher laws, and this is the family, which makes you the family of what? Planet Earth. So you are the family of planet Earth. But this could be foreign relatives as well, foreign things in the ninth house. But it's also family and religion and stuff like that. This is why you see the Pope standing up. Because remember, the Pope is going to represent that 10th house as well. You see the Pope standing up and telling these priests, if you've done anything wrong, the church is not going to protect you. Now why? Because he didn't say that before. So why is he saying it now? Because they told him if he didn't get his act together, they was coming for him. So now he's kicking all those priests to the curb. And remember, when we're talking foreign family, because the Pope is foreign, he's from like South America. He represents the Vatican. He represents the Catholic Church, which has the main headquarters in Rome, Italy. This is all foreign, but this is also higher law. Higher law affecting who? The family. Why? Because God is beginning to talk. And that's what that number 26 basically means. And when you see the moon in the 10th house, that's like the Catholic, the Mother Mary, talking to who? The authority, the religious authorities. And Leo is the leaders. So you can expect to see more from that, those, not that source, but those sources. Any leader, including your president if you're in the USA. And it's taking a look at the family. It's also bringing the family under what I would call a higher law. You could call it a higher spiritual law. You might even call it international. Whatever you want to call it. And it'll greatly affect the mother as well. Because remember, the moon is only at 0 degrees, which means this energy is still being felt in the 9th house. So either your mother, and now you want to go back to wherever Sagittarius is on your chart, 12th house, for this chart over here, with the number 22 and 16. And who's in her 9th house? This chart on the left. Virgo, again, mother, or Mother Mary. Virgo is the Virgin. And it's healing. So once again, the universe is offering her a chance for any healing she has, any issues she has with the mother, or anything in this 4th house. Because it's also family as well. The universe is offering healing at what, 18 degrees. And they said, remember, they said 18 degrees is the moon. That's how you know I know what I'm talking about. But it's not to look at me. That's why I never come on camera. Don't look at me. Look at the information. You know this is God. 18 degrees is the moon. So you got this motherly presence. And whenever you see the moon with that lion, now you got the Mother Mary and her son, the Messiah. So now you even got a message coming directly from the throne of the Lion of Judah. Again, seek the Son while he can be seen, while he can be found. Because you're about to lose that privilege. The man told you the truth. He said 12 play. Time for play is over. 12 hours in the day, it's now time for the night, the darkness. Out of chaos becomes order. Or out of judgment of the world that exists now comes judgment, darkness, or destruction, and then a new. See, it will come a time when people will have wished that they did get their natal chart. There will come a time when people will have wished that they had did it the correct way. Instead of stealing, just trying to get what benefits them. Well, I don't care about that other stuff. But you will. Because God does not want to be mocked. Whatever a person is reaping, they're going to sow. And then when you go to the moon chart, Virgo's in the 11th house. Friends, association, and groups. Again, this is affecting everyone. From the families to the friends, the associates, to the groups. Everybody's being affected by this energy. And then when you go to her chart, the 11th house is Aquarius. Again, friends, association, groups. We already said that. But it's going to have the motherly rulership over it. So again, Sagittarius represents higher law. And even like Sagittarius can also represent the high priestess, believe it or not. Because remember, she's duality too. Just like Sagittarius is the temperance card, number 14. She's duality too. And then your number 15 card would be the devil card. But he's still duality because you got the masculine and the feminine, but they're just chained up. And what are they chained up to? Well, they could walk away if they wanted to because they're not really chained up. It's just chains around them. But they could take the chains off because they're not bound. But they choose that. See, they choose the material physical world above the spirit. So you kind of see that with Sagittarius. They want the higher knowledge, but from a bound or earthly sense on its natal chart. Because 14 is temperance, but it's duality. But it's right next to Jupiter, which is 15, which is definitely the devil. So right here in this second house, you're looking at people that are bound. You're looking at the number 15 card with the lovers because that's what Venus is representing. The two polarities at 14 degrees. So you see people that are staying bound to this higher entity represented by Sagittarius, but that higher entity in the second house is the devil card, the number 15. So now when you go back to this card to the left, Sagittarius is in her 12th house. But again, just like I told y'all, you can either make the choice to the higher calling that's being offered to you, or you can keep choosing, oh, where's this guy on Earth, planet Earth? But if he's not really going to help you spiritually, you're staying bound. So any riches you have and any love you have is staying bound to what can no longer exist. Because God's going to move it out the way. And you see her Sagittarius is what? Neptune retrograde. What's that? The escapist. And they escape through what? Either fantasizing or alcohol or drugs. But whatever they do, they escape. And let's see what that number 19 stands for.
It's the Sun card. Yeah, but her son takes her right back to the love, which we already talked to. But at 27 degrees. See, the vibe I'm getting off of her, she's being given the option to walk away. And that's her escape. And then she's being given the option to experience that new love at 0 degrees. Whatever that's a new person or a new way of doing things, whatever it is. But we already saw it. We already seen it. And then Juno's right there. And so is healing. Good communication. See, even her Mercury is 14 degrees again, which is the balancing of the two. And if you look over here, Venus is at 14 degrees with Sagittarius. So hers, she's given a chance to walk away from what's not in her best interest to something new. In that second house is Taurus energy, Venus energy, Mars energy, and Mars can rule Aries. And even look at that, where her Vesta is at 14 degrees again, Temperance again. So this energy will appear to have ardent love or ardent feelings for her. But she may have to cool it off a little bit, because when you have Vesta will burn out. Vesta gives so much that it'll burn out. And that's in the first house of intensity with Aries. But it might be refreshing from what she's been experiencing in more recent times. But it seems like the offer is she has to walk away, though. From whatever she presently has, she has to walk away. All right. So like I said, for her chart so far, it looks like it's a shake-up, but also an offer. And her chart is very unique because she always has a lot of activity in that second house. And that's also her sun sign. But it's almost like saying the secret to her quote love
unquote life is like Mars energy, because Mars rules Aries. All right. And that's a true north node is number 14 too. So whoever did her chart is real poetic. And that's why people don't understand. Somebody really did your chart. Some people's lives be fucked up, but you don't realize that somebody really did your chart. It's like somebody wrote a movie. And like sometimes you see a movie and somebody's life be fucked up, but then in the last part it get really beautiful. That's kind of like how her chart is. Like she's got a connection to Mars and Aries, you could say, and 14 is like her number, because 14 is a number of temperance, but it's a number of duality. They even call 14 the gates of hell. The number 14 is the gates of hell. It's called the angel of time. It's the gates of hell, but it's duality. It's good and evil, and that's why I said you should understand metaphysics, because metaphysics, that's what it is. If you want to see the gates of hell, all you got to do is go to Acts chapter 12. If you notice, the apostle Peter was in prison. That represents hell. But he was let out of prison and he tried to go to Mary's house. And John was there with Mary. Now John is the beloved. That was the so-called Jesus' favorite apostle is John. And he was there because at the cross, Jesus told John to go with Mary. So in Acts chapter 12, you see Peter trying to come to Mary's house, but he can't get let in because of the gates. And Rhoda is at the gates. Now Rhoda would not let Peter in to the house of Mary. But the gates, or where Mary sits, the Divine Mother, is really at hell and at heaven. Just like Luke chapter 16 tells you that. In Luke chapter 16, they said it's a gulf between hell and paradise, or Abraham's bosom. But you can also call that gulf the gate. And Peter was not allowed in for metaphysical reasons, prophetic reasons. So whoever did her chart, that's what you see. That she will get to 14, which is the gates of hell, but only through everything I just told you. But ultimately, she has to make that decision. All right. Even biblically speaking, when God calls somebody, he throws them into what's called the deep or the wilderness, and they go through hell one way or another. Even the stuff, if you study the stuff the Messiah went through, hell, literal hell. All right. So again, now in the first house, the East Point, which deals with the ego, but it's at 7 degrees. Now I'm at the moon chart, which is in the middle, the full moon chart. So again, there'll be some interest looking at Scorpio, and it's at 28 degrees. That's Kyrus, the nurturer. But remember, 28 degrees is usually an imbalance or a extreme, even to the point of greed. But it also has the number 7 there for spiritual. Because see, where her Scorpio is, that's where she's got all that activity going on. The true north node, the Jupiter, and the Venus. And her Jupiter's at 15 degrees too. See, that's why I said it would have to be a choice a person's gonna have to make. Because they can say 15, which means you're gonna kind of be bound by your choice though. You're bound by earthly or material things. But ultimately the offer is to be spiritual. And again, even for people that say they study the Bible,
or whatever they, say they follow the Bible. Really, the Messiah, he was one of the most non-material people you ever want to meet. Now, I'm not saying you could really live that way, but essentially, we're just like Doreen Virtue said, the ancient Doreen Virtue, the classic Doreen Virtue. She was always saying, pursue the spirit, and if you pursue the spirit, then everything else will be taken care of. And Messiah said that. But again, it's not gonna be the way you think though, because other people maybe. I mean, each person is different. But some people, if you really put spirit first, your needs will be taken care of. But other people may look at you like a freeloader. They may look at you as a bum and stuff like that. But the fact of the matter is, you might be one of the most productive people on the planet. But if God's got a calling for you, He's gonna turn that all upside down. And you kind of see that on both these charts to a certain degree. All right, I got another pair of glasses. I got to find out where I put them. I got to put this on pause. All right, so according to the moon, full moon chart, we did the 9th house, 10th house, 11th house, 12th house, first house, second house. Okay, now the third house is going to be Gemini energy, third house. Now, why is the moon being so hard on the third house? Because you got Cancer, you got Capricorn there, you got Saturn there. Well, that's because the third house is the immature house, ruled by Gemini. The third house is a little immature. Even Gemini has to do with short distances and short travel. Your siblings or young people, or young-minded people, younger education. It's a very creative house. But what Capricorn is demanding with Saturn is, okay, you got to grow up. Gemini energy, you've got to grow up. So again, if you got somebody around you, Gemini energy, that's why you're taking notes. Like I said, I know these videos can be long, but again, what helps you if you're taking notes, take breaks. Take it seriously. Like I said, it's just human nature. You want to run in, you want to jump in, and you never want to get the information. See, I'm a real teacher. A real teacher would rather see you get the information. That's what makes a teacher more happier than anything. Even though my friend kind of did me dirty, she doesn't really talk to me now that she's got what she wanted. I don't hear from her as much. But at least, hopefully, if she learned at one point to stop allowing guys to take advantage of you, then she got the message. Because that was the whole message. So if she got that, I'm kind of happy for her. All right. So before we go into this third house, we're at 2 minutes 53 seconds of my audio. And I don't want to go past 3 hours for this. So I'm just going to make this part 1 and come back, as soon as this is up to part 1.